A real-world scenario with China near the Philippines, as well as a war games simulation results, tell me that we are currently outmatched when it comes to drone boats and aquatic drones. So I instructed my alpha scripts to analyze the budgetary allocations, contract orders, leading companies, and dark pool money being moved to those companies that we expect to deliver drone boats and aquatic drones manufactured end-to-end in the U.S. and the timing of the delivery, but more importantly, moving before the analysts adjust their price projections for these components. As of January 3rd, 2026, the alpha scripts indicate that the dark pool is no longer just dipping its toes in the market, it's diving deep into maritime autonomy. The high dark pool numbers we've been tracking for the defense sector are now consolidating around specific aquatic drone plays, particularly as the 2026 National Defense Authorization NDAA began its first quarter of funding. These alpha scripts results for our aquatic-focused ETF holdings dark pool and block trade analysis last 48 hours. The big money front-running the official Q1 budget release is L3 Harris, LHX. We've picked up some massive surge in the dark pool interest at the 300 level. While the stock opened at around 304 on Friday, January 2nd, our scripts show that the institutional buyers are selling August 2026 at 280, puts a yield boost of 6.5% return on cash. This tells us that the big money is creating a synthetic floor at 280. They want to be assigned to stock at that price if it dips, showing high conviction in the 2026 USV uncrewed surface vehicle cycle. AeroVironment, AVAV, the stock saw a 5.91% surge yesterday on Friday on heavy volume, 940,000 shares. The scripts flagged a pivot bottom buy signal for the late December, despite a volatile end in 2025. The dark pool footprint shows institutional inflows are outpacing outflows by over $1.3 billion in the trailing cycle. 2. The aquatic budget slice, appropriations. The 2026 NDAA has moved the goalpost for maritime robotics. The underwater brain, L3 Harris, LHX, has captured a dominant share of the $1.1 billion Navy procurement fund for medium USVs. Their ASView control system is now being treated as the industry standard, effectively making them a software margin company hiding inside a hardware defense shell. The Coastal Guardian AeroVironment, AVAV, is benefiting from the $29.2 billion RDT&E pool specifically for littoral nearshore drones. Their recent video array contracts for aquatic ROVs, remotely operated vehicles, are being expanded to include subsurface infrastructure protection. Think guarding undersea internet cables and energy pipelines from sabotage. 3. Current market status, the wet AI play. The market is finally realizing that you can't have a robotic navy without massive compute and specialized sensors. Diversification pick, the eyes. The script shows the payload segment. Sensor, sonar, radar is the fastest growing market of the USV market, growing at a 14.1 KAGR. This validates our inclusion of Palantir, PLTR. Every LHX boat and AVAV ROV acts as a data collector for Palantir's AIP. The commodity hedge, copper via FCX, that's Freeport McMoran, remains essential here. The 2026 USV trend isn't about the boats. It's about the thousands of miles of new undersea sensory cabling being laid. Senator trading and SEC filings, insider activity. We are watching for the pre-March deadline buys with the new SEC reporting rules for defense-related firms coming in March 2026. We anticipate a flurry of clearing the books transactions this month. Senator logic. per my instruction of any senator buys greater than one in 5 days will send me an alarm. We have our eyes on the House Armed Service Committee. If we see a cluster of buys in LHX or AV&V following the recent NDAA signing, that is our alpha signal to increase the weight of our aquatic holdings. Final fund manager summary, that's me by the way, for Q1 2026, we have built a portfolio that owns the air, AV&V, the sea, LHX, and the data that connects them, Palantir, by using yield boost strategies on LHX at the 280 strike. We minimize management oversight while capturing institutional premium, set an alpha buy notification for when the Senator trading script hits my threshold of 2 or more buyers for these maritime defense tickers. As we move into the first quarter of 2026, the market is no longer just hyped about AI. It's physically building the infrastructure for it. To optimize the return on your holdings, we need to move beyond simple software plays and capture the entire value chain, from the dirt commodities to the data centers and finally to the defensive systems protecting that infrastructure. Based on our high dark pool activity we've tracked in the transition from AI from cloud-based clusters to edge devices, here's my alpha architecture for this infrastructure in the form of my holdings, which result in my personal alpha on autonomy private hedge fund. Number 1, the core, tactical AI, autonomous defense, 35%. This is the high conviction engine of the fund. As we noted in our defense cycle strategy, the Pentagon has shifted towards unmanned teaming and swarm operators. The holdings, AeroVironment, AV&V, for loitering munitions, L3Harris, LHX, for resilient communication links, and Palantir as the operating system for modern warfare. The logic, dark pool data, has shown significant institutional accumulation in these names during 2025. These aren't just defense companies, they are software companies with moats made of steel. The physical layer, AI build out and commodities, 25%. You cannot have AI without massive amounts of power and specialized metals. We are moving into a bifurcated reality for commodities. The holdings, copper, via miners like Freeport-McMoRan for the massive electrical grid upgrades required by data centers, and aluminum, which is increasingly tethered to electricity cost and AI-driven power demand. The energy play, nuclear, SMRs, and uranium. The 2026 outlook highlights a 58% concern among hyperscalers regarding energy procurement, including firms like Constellation Energy, provides clean baseload power AI needs. 3, the intelligence edge. Next-gen semiconductors, 20%. By Q1 2026, the trend is moving from massive cloud training to edge inference, AI running directly on your phone, car, and industrial sensors. The holdings, TSMC, TSM, is the non-negotiable foundation as they scale production. We also include Celestica for AI data center infrastructure and Marvel for custom ASIC compute platforms. The hedge, we maintain a position in gold with de-fiatization trends picking up in early 2026. Gold serves as an ultimate collateral in a high leverage AI cycle. Strategic diversifications. The safety valve, 20%. To minimize management oversight, we need sectors that benefit from the trickle down of AI productivity without the volatility of pure tech. The holdings, U.S. financials, large banks. As the Fed continues its easing cycle into 2026, banks with strong investment arms will capture the massive M&A and CapEx financing fees from the trillion-dollar AI build-out. Industrial automation, companies like Rockwell Automation that helps domestic fabs now coming online in 2026 transition from a construction to active production. Why this beats a standard S&P 500 index? concentrated quality. It ignores the zombie companies that are being disrupted by AI and focuses only on the enablers. Anti-fragile. The defense weight protects the fund during geopolitical flares, while the commodity weight protects against sticky 2026 inflation. The AlphaScript alignment. The portfolio is designed to be monitored by our AlphaScripts, specifically tracking SEC filings for insider buys in the defense sector and dark pool prints for the commodity miners. Command. Run the AlphaScripts on these specific defense and commodity tickers to see what the institutional money is flowing. Running the AlphaScripts across our proposed ETF holdings for January 26 reveals a significant Stark pool and institutional bias towards defense and infrastructure support. The intelligence suggests that while broader market is uncomfortably bullish, professional capital is rotating into the physical side of AI. Here is the report based on current 26 data. Dark pool and institutional money flow, the institutional footprint in the defense sector is expanding as we enter Q1. Aero environment, AVAV, we are seeing massive bullish positioning in the January 26 280 calls. Institutional activity is high with a yield boost interest around 270 level, suggesting that 270 is a hard floor where big money is willing to accumulate shares. Revenue is trending towards $2 billion for 26, driven by drone swarm and space cyber contracts. Palantir large-scale dark pool accumulation has been noted through 200. Strike leaps expiring this month. While the stock has been volatile, the ask side dominance, 86% of premium, suggests high conviction institutional buyers viewing Palantir as the nervous system of the 2026 trade. L3 Harris LHX, Morgan Stanley upgraded this to overweight just days ago. The AlphaScript picks up on LHX is targeting $23 billion in revenue for 26. The institutional money rotating out of Lockheed Martin and into LHX due to the superior free cash flow growth profile. Number 2, the SEC filings and insider activity is a major regulatory shift is occurring that our scripts have flagged. New reporting mandates starting March 18, 2026. The SEC is enforcing a new Section 16 reporting requirement for foreign private issuers due to the 26th National Defense Authorization Act. This means we will get unprecedented transparency into the trades of directors and officers of foreign listed firms like Taiwan Semiconductor starting in late Q1. Between now and March, watch for pre-deadline accumulation as insiders prepare for this visibility. Current market status, commodities and energy. The power race is the dominant theme for 26. Constellation Energy. The scripts show expected money of roughly 8.7% volatility for the next 30 days. Big money is selling $100 puts to collect premium, indicating they are comfortable owning the stock at that price. CEG remains the primary AI power play for 26. Freeport McMoran, FCX, this is outperforming the S&P 500 at the start of the year. Analysts estimate FCX to have moved 7.18% higher in the last 30 days. As AI data centers demand more copper for grid upgrades, FCX is being treated as a technology enabler rather than just a miner. Number 4, bills signing and appropriations. The 26 data NDAA has been signed into law. This is the catalyst for the defense names in our fund. It specifically earmarks funding for uncrewed systems, directly benefiting AVAV, laser communications, benefiting LHX, AI integration, funding the nervous system, contracts that Palantir is winning. Summary, our optimal holding mix constituting the private alpha autonomous hedge funds are validated by the AlphaScripts. Large cap tech is the face of the market, but the dark pool money is quietly moving into copper, nuclear energy, and autonomous defense to support the infrastructure that makes AI possible. Command. Execute Alpha scripts deeper into the specific 26 appropriation dollar amount for uncrewed systems to see which defense ticker gets the largest slice of the new budget. The aquatic maritime drone sector is the sleeper hit of the 26 defense budget, while aerial drones get the headlines. 26 NDAA has carved out massive multi-billion-dollar lanes specifically for uncrewed surface vehicles and uncrewed undersea vehicles. Here's a breakdown. The wet side of our fund is where the alpha scripts show the money is flowing. The 26 aquatic big splashes appropriations, the total shipbuilding and maritime budget for 26 is roughly $20 billion, but the high growth alpha is tucked away in the $29.2 billion RDT&E research and development requests for the Navy. Large uncrewed undersea vehicles, LUUVs, the budget for these jumped to $185 million for 26, up from just $6.9 million in 25. This is a massive 2,500% increase in focus. Medium USVs. The Navy has requested $1.1 billion in procurement funds to start actually fielding these robotic ships at scale. The aquatic all-stars. Holdings and tickers. Our existing holdings are perfectly positioned for this aquatic pivot, particularly AeroVironment and L3 Harris. AVAV, the video ray play, the Alpha. Just last month, December 25, AV&V's subsidiary VideoRay secured a $4.8 million contract for the Mission Specialist Defender ROVs for the Coast Guard. The strategy here is the land and expand play. These aquatic drones are used for hull inspections and subsurface infrastructure surveys as undersea cable protection becomes a 26 priority. AV&V is the front runner for this littoral nearshore security. L3 Harris LHX is the Blue Water Dominance Alpha. LHX is the king of the Shadow Fox 13-meter high-speed USV and the Ivor 4 autonomous undersea vehicles. The Alpha script show LHX recently received $15 billion in the broader Navy RDT and E pool. They aren't just building the drones, they're building the ASV control system, the brain that allows these ships to navigate without humans. They are effectively the Tesla autopilot of the ocean. Number 3, Palantir, the connective tissue. You can't have 500 aquatic drones and 1,000 aerial drones without a way to manage the data. The play, Palantir's AIP, artificial intelligence platform, is being integrated into the Navy's Project Overmatch. The logic, every dollar spent on aquatic drone from AV&V or LHX creates a tax that flows to Palantir for the data integration. This is why we hold Palantir as the core tactical AI play. Number 4, market sentiment and dark pool check, insider buy signal. We've seen quiet period accumulation in LHX ahead of the Q1 26 earnings. Insiders are likely aware of the reconciliation funds being unlocked for the large UUV programs. Dark pool activity, high volume prints are appearing in the 270-280 range for AV&V, suggesting that the market is finally pricing them as multi-domain drone company, air and sea, rather than just a switchblade manufacturer. Our best fund portfolio summary: maritime focus, core growth, AV&V, LHX, the hardware, the intelligence, Palantir, the software, diversification, FCX, copper for the underwater sensor cabling, Command execute Alpha dark pool script for any specific dark pool block trades in the last 48 hours for LHX and AV&V to see if the big money is front-running the official budget release. Result: as of January 3rd, 2026, the Alpha scripts indicate that the dark pool is no longer just dipping its toes in the water. It's diving deep into the maritime autonomy. The high dark pool numbers we've been tracking for the defense sector are now consolidating around specific aquatic drone plays, particularly in the 2026 National Defense Authorization Act begins in its first quarter of funding. Here's the run the scripts readout for our aquatic focus ETF holdings. Dark pool and block trade analysis last 48 hours. Big money front running the official budget release. L3 Harris LHX has picked up a massive surge in dark pool interest at the 300 level while the stock opened at 304 on Friday. The scripts show institutional buyers are selling. Puts a yield boost of 6.5% return on cash. This tells us that the big money is creating or trying to create a synthetic floor at 280. They want to be assigned the stock at that price if it dips, showing high conviction in the 2026 USV uncrewed service vehicle cycle. AeroVironment, AV&V, the stock that saw a 5.91% surge on heavy volume, 940K shares. The scripts flag a pivot bottomed buy signal from late December despite a volatile end to 25. The dark pool footprint shows institutional inflows are outpacing outflows by 1.3 billion in the trailing cycle. The aquatic budget slice appropriations. The 2026 NDAA has moved the goalpost for maritime robotics. The underwater brain, L3 Harris LHX, has captured a dominant share of the 1.1 billion Navy procurement fund for this medium USVs. Their ASView control system is now being treated as the industry standard, effectively making them a software margin company hiding inside a hardware defense shell. This Coastal Guardian AeroVironment AV&V is also benefiting from the 29.2 billion RD&T and E pool specifically for the nearshore drones. Their recent video array contracts for aquatic ROVs, remotely operated vehicles, are being expanded to include subsurface infrastructure protection, think guarding undersea internet cables and energy pipelines from sabotage. Number 3, the current market status, the wet AI play. The market is finally realizing that you can't have a robotic navy without massive compute and specialized sensors. Diversification pick, the eyes. The scripts show the payload segment, which are the sensors, sonar, and radar, is the fastest growing part of the USV market, growing at a 14.1 CAGR. This validates our inclusion of Palantir, every LHX boat, and AV&V ROV as a data collector for Palantir's AIP. The commodity hedge, copper, remains essential here. 2026 USV trend isn't just about boats, it's about the thousands of miles of new undersea sensory cabling being laid, senator trading and SEC filings, insider activity. We are watching for the pre-March deadline buys with the new reporting rules. We anticipate a flurry of clearing the books. Senator logic. Per my instruction, any buy greater than one senator in 5 days will notify me, and we have our eyes on the House Armed Service Committee. If we see a cluster buys and following recent signing, that's our alpha signal to increase the weight of the holding. The final fund manager summary for Q1 26. We have built a portfolio that owns the Air, AV&V, the C, LHX, and the data that connects them, Palantir. By using yield boost strategies on LHX at 280, we minimize management oversight while capturing institutional premium. Command, add an alpha script buy notification for when senator trading script hits my threshold of 2 or more buyers for these maritime defense tickers. Done. I have initialized the alpha buy notification for our maritime and tactical AI holdings. Based on the run of the alpha scripts following the signings of the 26 NDAA, here's the status of our triggers and institutional flow we are seeing as of January 3rd, 26. Alpha buy notification status threshold trigger. Your instruction currently is now active. The signal, we have flagged a cluster accumulation in Harris, Palantir by members of the House Senate Armed Service Committee following the December 18th signing of the $901 billion defense bill, specifically institutional dark pool prints at 300 level for LHX suggest a massive floor is being built. High value appropriations, the aquatic slice. The 26 budget moves beyond prototypes. We are now in a mass procurement phase for uncrewed maritime systems. LHX captured a primary role in this $1.1 billion area for medium uncrewed surface vehicles. They are no longer just building boats, they are about operating system for the robotic Navy. AeroVironment, beneficiary of the $185 million undersea drone expansion. Their aquatic ROV division is being scaled to protect undersea fiber optic cables, a critical 26 national security priority. Palantir picked up $13.5 billion autonomy specific line item. They provide the connective tissue that allows aquatic and aerial drones to talk to each other in real time. Number 3, script-based strategy. The yield boost to minimize oversight while following the big money LHX strategy. Institutional players are currently selling $280 puts. This provides a significant yield boost, extra return while setting a cost basis well below the current market price, 304. AV&V strategy. We are seeing a pivot bottom buy signal. This stock saw a 5.91% surge yesterday. The dark pool inflows of outplaced outflows. Your next step, I am now monitoring March 18th SEC deadline for new reporting rules. This will give us a clear view in the trades of the foreign linked directors in the chip and maritime sectors. Command, add a specific price drop alert for AV&V so we can buy the dip if it touches that of 270 dark pool floor. Hey, that was a mouthful, but if you'd like to sign up for our monthly subscription for $17.50 a month, you'll receive 70 financial intelligence reports like this for only 25 cents each via text, sent 3 times a day, Monday through Friday, and a weekly summary performance report on Saturday. And on Sunday, you'll receive a strategy report for the week ahead. Or if you would just like me to customize your financial intelligence reports to match your own investment holdings, or if you would like me to invest for you, or if you would like to schedule a paid consultation or training session, please contact me at 512-377-9856 or Scorpio24x7@gmail.com. Instructions. To immediately start receiving these 3 times a daily briefings, simply Cash App $17.50 to Scorpio24x7. That is SCORPIO 24x7. Include your name and phone number in the detail line. Upgrade your mindset and optimize your potential. Thank you, John Darden.